Hey guys, it's Lust here, and I know I haven't posted in a while. That's because of a couple of reasons. First of all, it's because the set one was getting quite boring. Because regional season was over. I tried to go to locals, and a lot of my locals just didn't have enough players to even start their tournaments because people either lost interest in set one or because they didn't qualify, moved on to other games for before set 2 releases. So I didn't really have a lot of content to do, and plus I thought that set 1 content was already saturated enough. Plus I had to prepare for the White Plains regional that's happening tomorrow and Sunday. Hopefully I top, but today's set 2 released, and I'm here to give you guys my day 1 set 2 build, which I did decently well at my locals today. I went at 2-1. And the only loss was to Dragon, where he high rolled me with double Oracle into double Shenlong. In that case, I wouldn't have won anyway. So let's move on to the deck profile. For the 1-drops, we're still running 3 copies of Bellringer Angel and 3 copies of Teachings of Creation. I feel like this should never change because as an aggressive tempo deck, we should be starting off the game strong. And this Bellringer Angel can apply a lot of pressure when we try to ward our turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4 plays and prevent them from getting swung over by, let's say, an Evolve. And it's also very good going second against aggro. I'm expecting Aggro Abyss to be very popular, and I'm also expecting Sword to be very popular, and this is a very good card against that. So, and all 6 of these are basically cantrips, and they help our deck with consistency issues. And then for the 2-drops, we still run these 3. I'm not playing Red Hot Ritual in this deck because I feel like as an amulet, dealing damage to something is not quite as good as just hitting them with a Strike Form Golem, and we have to be proactive. So if there's a meta where there's more aggressive decks, I might consider cutting a Crafty Warlock for a Red Hot Ritual, but for now, I'm still on the 3-3. I don't think, at least right now, Red Hot's better than Alchemist Workshop. And then the first change, instead of 2 Fire Chains, I'm moving on to 1 Fire Chain and 1 copy of Rhymewind. This can also be Surefire Bullet. In fact, you can just opt to not play Fire Chain at all and just play Surefire Bullet plus Rhymewind, because the chances that your Fire Chain will actually connect with 2 different things is very low. Most of the time, you're just using it to deal 3 does 1 something. But yeah, Rhymewind's a very good card. I won a game today because I Rhymewinded their Dragon Guard and I attacked for lethal. This is extremely, extremely disgusting against decks that often pass with a unevolved follower. For example, let's say if your opponent's Earthright deck curves you with Runic Guardian, you can just Rhymewind it back to their hand, and suddenly they not only lost their turn 3 play, they also lost that sigil that went into it. Or if your opponent tries to wall up with a really big ward, you can just return it to the hand. And if your opponent tries to attack you with the Genesis Dragon, you can just return it to the hand. It's a really crazy card. I honestly love the card. It came up multiple times for me today. And then moving on to the 3-drops. I feel like this is now the most important card we have to see on 3. The fact that if we hit this on 3, we might just win the game. It's one of our most aggressive curves. We have to play 3 copies of Runic Guardian. The old MVP of the deck, Ancient Alchemist. Demon Flame Mage, because it's good against aggro. And now we have a new face in the deck, Remy and Rami, Witchy Duo. It's your other 3-drop Evo. What this does is that it basically pings something. It summons a golem, and you can choose the Earthright to give it 2 attack. So it's basically our version of Dragon Warrior, and with an Earthright, it hits for 5. It solves the issue where Demon Flame Mage is only good versus aggressive matchups. This is good versus the control matchups and ramp and whatnot, because this more often than not 2-for-1s. Well, right out of the gate, it threatens 9 damage. Trading onto the board, which is very good to get rid of 2 big things or 2 medium-sized things, while this can only get rid of small things. But I feel like in the future, when there is a more when the meta is more stable, we would be able to cut one of these entirely and just play 3 of one of them, opening up our Evo deck, because right now our Evo deck is really tight. I had to make a really big cut in the deck that I don't like just to fit both of these in. So in the future, probably one of these will leave. If there's less aggro in the meta, I'll put 3 of these. If there's less mid-range or control in the meta, I'll put 3 of these, probably. And then, ye olde Merlin, really good card. It searches up so many things. Now it searches up Rhinewind too. So you can go like Merlin, Rhinewind, and just like completely invalidate your opponent's turn. It's crazy. It's also your burn for 6. And then, yeah, burn for 6. You need the one. You need the one to make Merlin do its thing. And now, 1 Golem Protection. A lot of people are this is a very controversial card. A lot of Earthright players I know, for example, Dean, a shout out to Dean from Burn 1, he really likes this card. He thinks this is like the best card in the deck. I have the complete opposite thing. I feel like this card sucks. Like, I feel like this card, on 4, it doesn't do enough. And by the time I want it, it's too expensive to cast. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong, but like, I dislike having this card. And my gripe with Earthright was always that it didn't have good turn 4 play. But now that we have an actual turn 4 play, I cut this down to 1. So it's still searchable with Merlin if I wanted to. And it's alright for a 4-cost card in the curve. 1 Execute. Execute's more important than ever. We have 4 copies of it, thanks to Merlin. We want to be executing the Leonidas Amulet if it ever goes that far. And then, best card in the deck. Sun Oracle Pascal. I had a feeling this card was going to be very good when I previewed it, and not gonna lie, this was the most MVP card of the day. Being able to curve turn 3 Runic Guardian into turn 4 Pascal, setting up a 6-8 on turn 4, means that if your opponent doesn't have the clear right then and there, they literally lose the game. That's so crazy. And you can just, versus some matchups, you can just actually just play her and not do anything. When they attack, you just tap her, make something -2, -2. This alone makes Earthright probably the most aggressive deck in the game. We can kill people on turn 5. That's how crazy it is. Yeah, I love this card. This card is so crazy. The fact that it's 5 health too. And now, the Dragon matchup is even easier because you can buff your 5 attack things to make it live. Like, if you play a 4-4, you can buff it to make it a 6-6, and now it lives the Serpent's Wrath, it lives the Fafnir. Like, I cannot oversay how important this card is. I would definitely run 3 in every single list. And this is the new core of the deck. Moving on to 5 play points, a lot of players are saying that they've been bricking on triple Junos, but my theory is still, if I need to see this card in a lot of games to be able to win the grind, so I'm still playing 3. But if you wish to be lower down on the curve, I understand right now cutting one of them and just playing 2. If you do that, I would play back. I would be adding in on the aggressive stuff. I would play another copy of Demonic Strike maybe. I would maybe play Red Hot Ritual, like. And I cut Mithril Golem in this deck, but if you wish, you can also play like 1 copy of Mithril Golem in this spot. 1 Olivia. I wanted some form of healing in this deck. This card is also a draw. It's a flex spot. You can cut this for Mithril. You can cut this for the 3rd Erasmus. You can cut this for like a lot of things, but I felt like I needed, or I wanted to have some form of healing, and this card is just an overall really good card. It doesn't require an Evo point or anything, so I just play the 1 of. But if you want the deck to look really nice or whatever, you can cut this and put in the 3rd copy of Erasmus. I'm only playing 2 Erasmus right now because I feel like Earthright should be lower onto the curve because there's better control decks nowadays, so we have to be able to take the aggressive side. We can no longer hope to grind out a lot of decks using Junos because like Aegis is just a really strong card and whatnot, and Abyss also got really strong control tools. So we actually have pressure now. So I cut down on 1 Erasmus. Obviously you can still play 3, but that's my list right now. And going over the list one last time. Speed, 2 Erasmus, 1 Olivia, 3 Junos, 3 Pascal, 1 Execution, 1 Golem Protection, 1 Demonic Strike, 3 Merlin, 2 Remram, 2 Demon Flame, 3 Alchemist, 3 Runic Guardian, 1 Rhinewind, 1 Fire Chain, 3 Crafty, 3 Alchemist Workshop, 3 Teachings of Creation, and 3 copies of Bellringer Angel. And then for the Evo deck, it's 1 Bellringer, 1 Crafty, 2 Demon Flame, 2 Remy, 2 Ancient Alchemist, and 2 Merlin. You'll see that I actually cut Erd. I think Erd is a really good card still, and I would play it if I had the Evo deck space. But right now, since I wanted this deck to be as aggressive as possible, I cut the Erd And like there's amulets are a lot more important now, and Erd doesn't do a lot against amulets, so I'll see. Maybe in future versions, Erd will make a reappearance in this deck when I establish which one of Demon Flame and Remy Remy that I actually wish to run, instead of just using a 4 slots in my Evo deck for it. I would probably like cut one of these to make a slot for Erd. But for now, yeah, that's like what I want to be doing. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have enjoyed the deck profile. Tell me, make sure to tell me what you think about it and what you want to run in the deck, and let me know your opinion on Golden Protection and whatnot, and whether or not you like this list. Thank you very much. Have a great day.